Welcome to Daily Plunge. We're in the Gospel of John, chapter 19, verses 17 through 27. The trial is over, so the soldiers lead him out of the courtroom, as it were. They're leading him outside the city walls, and this is an important point. What's outside the city walls? The refuse dump, the garbage dump. Hebrews 13:13 mentions this. Let us go with him outside the walls. Jesus has been rejected, thrown away, and he becomes refuse in order to take on the garbage of our lives, of all of our lives. It says he carries his own cross, which is really astounding after he has been flogged, which in itself was considered a capital punishment. As you think about him carrying his own cross, do you carry your own cross? We all do carry crosses, but whether we carry the cross of our sin and rebellion against God, no, we don't. We don't, because Christ has done that for us. We don't have to. And he is to be praised for that. It says that he's taken to the place of the skull, Golgotha. It's a place of death. It probably had skulls and bones scattered around because this is a place where they exterminate people. And that's what the kingdoms of this world rely upon, right? They rely upon violence and the threat of death and extermination to keep people in line. And so Jesus is exterminated. There's a notice of the charge that's fastened to the cross. It says that here is Jesus of Nazareth, right? He's King of the Jews. It's written in Hebrews, Latin, and Greek. And so it's declaring, really, for all the world in all the languages, that here's the King. He is on his throne. Now, verse 18 said that he was crucified with two others. What's interesting is there's so little comment about what's going on in the crucifixion there, right? Nailing his hands to the crossbeams or any of that, right? Well, because the listeners of John's gospel in the first century didn't need a whole lot of explanation. They didn't need gruesome details because these horrifying images were already ingrained in their heads. They knew this firsthand. They saw it. And as people many centuries later, we need to understand how gruesome crucifixion was. The priests come and complain to Pilate, right? Don't say that he was king. We never accepted that, right? Which is funny because he absolutely was the king of the Jews, king of Israel. That's why he was sent as Messiah. But they've rejected him, and his cross, his throne, stands as a seat of judgment against them. Pilate says, what I wrote, not changing anything. Probably did that just to irritate them. We next hear about the tunic. It's one seamless garment. They cast lots for it, the soldiers do. But John's purpose is to cite Psalm 22. Begins, my God, why have you forsaken me? Here he cites another passage, and Psalm 22 is an important scripture that helps us to understand what's going on in the cross theologically. There's 4 women there. They're scared and afraid, yet they are willing to stand with Jesus in the cross. And the question for us is, when we're scared and afraid, are we willing to trust Jesus in the midst of that? Finally, Jesus, introduces his mother to John. Actually, they knew each other, but he says, you are to take care of one another because there is a new family, the family of Christ, that is emerging. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.